Hey everyone, thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe to our channel and go over to our home, doubletoasted.com, for more videos and live streams. And remember, stay toasty. You know something? A lot of people are saying, a lot of people saw the beginning of this trailer, and they didn't know what to think. They were just weirded out. A fat Rock, a fat Dwayne Johnson. I just can't wrap my mind around that.
Never gonna get it. Never gonna get it.
You're like, what the fuck?
I don't know. He's half Samoan, so it's likely he was fat when he was a kid.
Likely he will be that way in the future. When he's about 65 years old or something. I better shut up. I'll get my ass beat.
Exactly.
I know. Crash through the wall at the Kool-Aid, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah? No. But people.
Put them eyebrows on you.
But no, that's all. He could beat you down with his eyebrows. His nostrils, man. But I tell you something, though, man. A lot of people say, all right, you know what? I can get with this, because if there's one thing we know about The Rock is that he's charming, and he is actually pretty funny. He ain't always got to beat somebody's ass. You know, that's what we like to see, but he can make us smile every now and then.
He's one of my favorite people on SNL.
He's just one of my favorite people, Martin. Anywhere. I like the guy.
All right, don't suck his dick.
I mean, man, I'm talking a lot of shit. I got to backtrack now. I love him. Yeah. Wrong how they did him in that movie. They ain't should have done him like that. But you know something? In this film, they say, well, he's funny. What can be funnier than Dwayne Johnson? No, well, if you team him up with Kevin Hart, oh, man, we in for a good time. Then some people are saying, well, that's just way too much, man. You know, I can deal with The Rock, but Kevin Hart flying around his ass like a gnat, making noises. And
Plus, what's in like the tagline for this movie? Like, you know, to have a team like this, you got to have a lot of heart and a big Johnson.
Yeah, it was.
They weren't playing around with that.
That ain't no pun. They speak truth right here. And in this, you have a fat Dwayne Johnson because in high school, he was overweight. He was very nerdy, and no one liked him. And the kids bullied him to the point where they dragged him out naked from the shower and displayed him in front of people. And it was so funny. Even the school said, you know, we ain't gonna do shit.
Damn.
The school really did not do. Not one teacher, not one principal, nobody at administration took action at all.
There.
They just sat there.
Damn, that's fucked up.
They sat there. Didn't one person? You know,
That's like every high school in movies.
It is.
The bullies just run rampant, and the teachers don't do shit.
And teachers don't do shit, man. Teachers are the bullies themselves. But that's all right though, because my man, he left school, disappeared, and 20 years later, he said, I'm back. And on top of that, I've been working out 6 hours a day, every day since I got teased that day. So they actually did me a favor. And to add to that, I am part of the CIA. And I actually get to beat people up and occasionally kill people for a living. The only thing that I need right now is your help, little Kevin Hart. Because I need to catch some people who have some corruptness going on somewhere. This is where it's all bullshit. I don't know what's going on.
So
with
is
this.
Kevin Hart like a computer genius or something?
He's an accountant.
Yeah.
Oh, an accountant.
Yeah.
He is a forensic accountant specialist. Or
Oh,
something
okay.
like that. Yeah.
All right.
Now, here's the thing with this is that, like I was saying, man, everybody's so used to seeing the Rock. That's what I'm gonna call him, because half the time he's out there.
No, man, he's just Dwayne Johnson now.
No, he's the Rock, man, because he's out there posing all hard, looking hard, especially in these Fast and Furious movies. Now you see, he just beat up a car back there. That was no wreck. And people are used to seeing him be that guy. But I don't know. If I've seen him, everybody's seen him. Y'all know Dwayne Johnson is goofy as hell.
Yeah, what was that? Be Cool, where he was a gay cowboy? Or
He was a
something?
gay cowboy, but even when he's not in movies, he's at home taking pictures, putting green paint on himself, dressing up like the Hulk.
Oh, he did that?
Yeah, that's him. Man,
you know what? It kind of works.
I know, right?
He looks scarier than Lou Ferrigno right there.
He does. Actually, I don't even think that's paint. I think he's actually turned into the Hulk.
He's just that mad.
He's just that man right now. Take the goddamn picture. Ah!
Strong ass simple Jack.
When I tell you about leaving your dump truck in the driveway.
Got so mad he grew hair and shit. Ah! But the thing is that you look at that, you know he's goofy, man.
Sure.
He ain't, man. The Rock ain't nothing but a big old teddy bear. Teddy bear is what they say.
Until.
Well, just like any bear, you make a man, he rip your ass apart. But if you keep him happy, man, you have fun with him, man, he's just a big old jolly, goofy motherfucker just like anybody else, man. And that's what works in this movie. In the beginning, him and Kevin Hart, not only is Dwayne Johnson, is this guy who's just big, dopey, and kind of naive. He's almost socially retarded in a way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But Kevin Hart, he's bouncing very good off of him, man. They have he came back after 20 years and just because Kevin Hart doesn't want to go to his reunion. His whole thing is like, man,
I was big in high school, and now I'm kind of like,
I was
Prom
big
king, jock, all that shit.
thespian, the star, the star actor of the school. He did everything. Now I'm just a lowly accountant, and I'm not going to my class reunion, but. Thanks to The Rock, who plays Bob Stone in the movie, changed his name because he had a name that was a dick pun.
Yeah, what, Bob Weird Dick?
Weird Dick.
Robbie Weird Dick.
Robbie Weird Dick. He says, hey, you know what? Let's go out and get drunk, man. Let's catch up. Let's get into old times and talk about, because you were the only guy that cared about me. Not one teacher, not one student. You were the only one that took your jacket and put it over my dick, and I never even gave it back to you. And when they get to that moment where they're just hanging out with each other, it feels like they are really old high school friends, man. Yeah. These guys they actually didn't even work with each other. There's a story where they said, they said that we saw each other like at a Kids' Choice Awards, and we thought, all right, man, I'm a fan of yours, you're a fan of mine. Cool. But when they got together, they said, man, we felt so natural with each other. Sure. And it shows, man. It shows. In those moments where they're just at the beginning where they're drinking, they're going around reminiscing about old times. Even the goofy stuff that Kevin Hart does seems almost sincere.
All right, everybody settle down. Settle down. If the crowd wants a golden jet flip, then they're going to get a golden jet flip. You go, girl. Oh, God.
That was so close, Jet.
I get the feeling that wasn't even in the script. He talked his ass into really doing that flip. You can see he's like a big old autistic child, man.
Yeah, he really acts like a lot of people that were big or not popular in high school, then they become like handsome, and he captured that social ineptness great.
Because he's wearing unicorns on his shirt. And he looks like he's almost like an autistic kid who's too big for you to tell him what to do.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's like is somebody gonna tell him to sit his ass down? No, let him do whatever he wants to do. Dwayne, you just be as creative as you want to be.
You might have retard strength than normal people.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I'm scared.
It's like Lenny from them cartoons. I would love him and squeeze him.
The rabbit.
And I will hug him and pet him and squeeze him.
Can you see the rabbits?
Yeah, the little black rabbits.
Get the unicorns, the fanny packs, all that shit.
Fanny packs. He's ill, man. He has Asperger's syndrome. I was looking at what the premise is here, and I'm like, man, it's a buddy movie.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. And with buddy movies, when has plot ever really mattered when the buddy part was strong? I mean, you go back to Bob Hope.
Sure.
And Bing Crosby. Those road movies they used to do. Road to Morocco, that's a classic.
Well, with a lot of these kind of movies, these buddy movies, it doesn't matter what they're doing. Mel Gibson and Danny Glover happen to be cops.
Yeah.
The guys from Ghostbusters, they happen to be Ghostbusters. It's not about what they do. It's about their personalities meshing with each other.
And yeah, no matter how stupid it gets. We loved Abbott and Costello, but when they got with Frankenstein, we're like, oh, shit. What a comedy team.
This makes sense.
Yeah. Even Barney Rubble and Fred Flintstone, they hang out with dinosaurs.
Right.
And they do the most mundane sitcom shit, but we love their friendship.
Exactly.
And so when has the buddy part ever mattered? And when I watched this, even when they started to go into the cop part, I was like, okay, this is going to be even more fun, man, because this is the part we get to see these two in action. And it really is, The Rock, that's when he becomes the most adorable. I mean, he becomes that big old giant, he's so big that nothing phases him. That's the other part. Like, he's so big that nobody fucks with him. He don't feel normal things that people feel.
Well, The Rock has just so many, multiple appeals to so many different demographics.
Yeah, and in this right here, like the women, when we were watching this, they were just kind of like, oh, I just want to adopt him.
Uh-huh.
Your necktie, take it off.
No, I'm not taking my tie
Come
off.
on, Jet.
Don't do that.
Don't do Save it. Oh, save it, Jet.
Take it.
Just right over here.
Damn, what happened right there? Shit. he must have grabbed his nuts. You know, he look like a Muppet. You know how Muppets smile with no teeth? Stepped on his dick right there.
Like Beaker.
Look like a fish, like a trout. But Kevin Hart kind of playing he's holding back and letting Dwayne Johnson be the comedian.
Yeah.
He's being the straight man right here. And
This looks good.
Oh, but it was too good to last.
I'm having a good time.
At least for me. I don't know how Korey feels over here, but that scene you just saw right there, that's the last time we saw that version of Dwayne Johnson. From that point on, Dwayne Johnson pulls back on that big, naive, cuddly guy, and he just becomes the action rock. Every now and then he'll do something kind of silly or crazy or goofy, but most of the time, these guys, that's when they start to be who they are. He becomes an action guy, and at some point, that's what Kevin Hart just gets to do his little loud
Daffy Duck.
Daffy Duck, little loud ad-libbing thing. And and it's funny because when he can't ad-lib, you know, when he runs out of shit to ad-lib, he just makes noises. And several times he does it here.
I know, but they think you're in.
I'm freaking out. I'm out. What's like to tell?
No, I get
I'm
it.
not
I'm
in.
saying they think you're in.
I'm not in.
I get it.
I'm not in.
The Rock's still funny there.
Yeah, that's like I don't get when you're saying like that was the end of him being like legit funny because he had a lot more funny moments after that scene.
Okay, see, this is where people kind of, I guess, going to differ with this because I hear some people really enjoy the chemistry between these two.
I felt like
Well, before you jump in, I would just say, like, it sounds to me like, look, for him to be an actual badass in the CIA, for them to keep him there, he must show, like, this is what I can do.
Yeah, and I thought that was what the main draw of his humor was after that scene you said when he went from the cuddly bear to the action star, because all the stuff he was doing action wise was just like so goofy. It's like, how did you do that? Like he'd pop up out of nowhere and just be smiling. You're like, that was weird. And it went to more of a physical gag spot as opposed to you know going back and forward talking like that.
Sure.
It's hard to explain without you seeing it because all these clips that you saw. Like, I was watching these clips today when I was putting this together, and I was like, man, I can't wait to see this. This looks funny as hell. I was reading all these reviews, and I was just turning my nose up at them. I'm like, oh, y'all just being stuffy critics. But that chemistry that they had, it just can't hold the weight of how bad this movie is. I mean, and especially when Dwayne Johnson leaves, it becomes every bad Kevin Hart movie that we've seen up to this point. Being that we're only getting The Rock in little parts, Dwayne Johnson, being that we're getting him in like smaller appearances throughout the film, we're getting more of this bad movie.
Well,
what's up?
with all due respect.
With all due respect, what you going? Because you ain't seen the movie.
I want to
man.
hear what Korey Goodman has to say.
Martin, I'm about to give it to him, sir. You're just trying to rush on out of here. You're like, man,
No, I ain't. I'm not in a rush.
All right, because you're doing this thing now where it's kind of like, well, I want to like this movie, and I don't like what you're saying.
Y'all really
That's pretty much it.
I know.
That's pretty much it.
I know, man. I'm sorry. I'm telling you, and knowing how you are, you probably feel the same way, which is what makes me mad right here. 'Cause I'm like, man, you sit up here defending some shit you won't even like. Come on, man. Tell him some shit. Y'all tell him what he wants to hear. No, tell him what he wants to hear. Go ahead.
I'm really surprised because I feel like we saw two different movies, man. Like when I think about buddy cop movies, it's not the story around it, because I don't remember everything that happened in the prom story and Rush Hour and Lethal Weapon and things like that. It's just the interactions between the two main characters, and if they are able to carry the movie, I feel that makes it somewhat of a decent movie, and I thought they did a really good job of that. When Rock went from being the cuddly bear to the action star, he still managed to keep a little bit of humor that was, it wasn't as overt as it was in the beginning, but it was still entertaining. And Kevin Hart, yeah, he did have a couple of missed jokes, which for some reason they put majority of them in the trailer, but he had a lot of funny moments in this movie. So yeah, man, I don't know.
Because we just have differences on what we see as funny or the amount of funny that we have. Mm-hmm. Yeah, in spots, very, very spotty spots, very few spots that Kevin Hart was funny. And very few spots we got that Dwayne Johnson that we had at the beginning. But the movie, the majority of it, when I say it's those bad Kevin Hart movies that we've seen, it's not even a Kevin Hart movie. It's a combination of those bad action movies that we see. It's a combination of those bad comedies that we see where the action movies, the action that's in there it's recycled from other action movies that we've seen.
I feel like it was kind of along the same vein as like 21 Jump Street, because they kept making references to. And I'm not saying it's as good as 21 Jump Street,
say, how dare
but I'm
you.
saying they're making a lot of references to the 80s and what they were doing in this film. I thought it was kind of like a retread of basically every buddy cop movie, because they talk about, he says I love 16 Candles, he says I love all these 80s movies, and then they say things that bring up like they it's really self-referential and meta. Like they'll crack jokes about each other's personalities in real life. Like, what idiot would do something like this? And he's like, oh, well, yeah, you did do something like that in real life. So there were a lot of moments in here where I didn't see it as it was supposed to be an action movie. I saw it as like, oh, this is somewhat of a parody of those old 80s and 90s movies.
I didn't see that parody at all. When they brought references up of old 80s stuff, it's that reference where it's just kind of like, hey, we're going to mention this so we can play a song you remember. Or show you a part of this movie, but just show you an element that you remember. They're just playing on memory. They're not doing anything clever with it.
That way, but then also the soundtrack. There was synths in here, like there was some like almost Beverly Hills Cop music in here.
Dude, that's the thing that annoyed me the most. For some reason, when there's movies with black people in it, they got to bring that guy that plays that. I
thought it was like Lethal Weapon.
No, that was a demographic thing.
No, man. Even with the Rock, when the Rock was on screen, it had that bump and then that funny like synth music. And like even when they have like shots that are really like it was something would be on the table and the shot would go down and like boom, wow, like those old 80s movies. And I thought that was the point of this. It was more of a, we're gonna make fun of those movies and show how much we appreciate them and bring it into a new generation.
Boy, you reading a whole lot into this. You giving this movie more credit than it deserves.
I don't think so, man. From the dude that directed this, I think he knows what he's doing.
And maybe that's the other thing too, because I haven't been crazy about a lot of the stuff that this guy has directed. I know, and Martin, this is not going to endear you, to my opinion, any more than it has at this point. But you really like that movie, We're the Millers. This is directed by Ross and Marshall Thurber. Man, that's a black name.
Not Thurber.
Thurber?
No, you're right. He does like a Thurber.
Yeah.
I'm looking at he did what is it? The Dodgeball I like, but he also did We're the Millers, and I don't like that.
I like We're the Millers. I like both of those movies.
But with the comedy in here, the comedy is also besides the broad comedy that we're given with Kevin Hart, and not so much with Dwayne Johnson. It really is his movie. But there's the cameos that we have there, and the cameos are, again, I'm not asking for realism here, but you gotta look at this and say, man, this is horrible writing. Why? And I can't tell you anything. Why is this person acting like a dick to this other person? Oh, it's not because this makes sense or it's good writing. It's to like emotionally manipulate you so that The Rock can have his revenge later on in the film. You can get some cheap satisfaction out of that. It's horrible writing. It's a crowd pleasing movie, and for those people that is meant for, they know exactly who they're making this movie for. I'm not even saying that this is horrible. I'm just saying that it set itself up for something that was actually decent, something that actually felt genuine. And then it just gave itself up to be the cheap pandering movie that it is later on, not utilizing the unique chemistry that we had between these guys at the start. I did get enough enjoyment out of it to give it a rental, what's up? I gave it a rental too. Oh yeah, that's right. You gave it a rental too.
Yeah,
I give it a rental.
I figure, and the other thing is, I figure, and when he gave it a rental, I was like, all right, he hasn't seen a lot of those movies, like a Lethal Weapon, or
or Jaws,
or a lot of the movies that this was parodying. So like when you went and saw 21 Jump Street, you're like, oh wow, there's a reference from that and that and that. Like if you see movies like that, I feel like you would get a lot of the stuff that's going on here just from the direction.
I've seen those movies.
Well, no, I'm talking about him, not you.
But let's talk about, because I've seen those movies. I've seen them.
But I feel like
I've seen them,
and I feel like you went in here expecting a serious crime drama with a little bit of comedy to the
man,
side.
you can't tell me I'm looking for a serious crime drama. Kevin Hart is in the goddamn movie. I ain't seen looking for no serious crime movie.
Whoa! Can we take 5?
No, we cannot take it down. I will not. You must listen to me. I will not take this down. You insult me, sir. I'm telling me I'm looking for a serious movie.
That's why I said I feel, man. I didn't say you were.
Just pull back.
No.
and let Korey tell people how it really is.
Yeah, I don't interrupt people. That's really rude. That's extremely rude. I don't know what asshole would do that, but Korey, you okay? You want me to?
Yeah, right,
You want me to keep going?
No, you do. No, you know what?
Break?
Man,
DJ, come give him a back.
Man, you know what?
She needs it.
Man, you know what? Look, brother. Look. I gave my rating. I said rental. I gave valid reasons why. I'm gonna sit back. Hey, bro, look, Take it. You got it.
All right, people. I feel like if you are a fan of those old '80s and '90s movies, and you do recognize, the style of direction people go with Beverly Hills Cop and Lethal Weapon, you're gonna have a lot of fun with this movie. I think The Rock and Kevin Hart are able to, with their charisma, are able to keep this keep this movie together. The story is generic, but there are a lot of stories out there. Like, I don't remember the plot from majority of those buddy cop movies, but I remember the dynamic between those two characters. There is, and again, no pun intended, there is some heart to The Rock and Kevin Hart's relationship. And there are moments where, like you said, you felt one of the cameos was just unnecessary, and so as Rock could get his revenge. I thought it was, it just shows that, some people in the world do change, and if this was real life, he would have went with that thing he was doing. But if it's he did it as most people in high school are. A lot of people don't change for the better. If they're dicks in high school, usually they're dicks in the rest of life. And with that, man, and the second cameo I thought was great too. And with that, I give it a matinee. It's not an amazing film, but it's a fun film. I think you can go to it. You'll have some fun. If you get the references, you'll have a blast with it. And I think they carried it well.
You know what? I'm sorry, man. I'm not. Understand me. This is not me doing this. It's not me acting this way normally. I would be fair and let you have your opinion. This motherfucker's fucking with me, man. He's been doing this the whole review. He's been sitting up here giving me eyes. He's been manipulating me, man. I've been letting him do it. It's been pissing me off.
He's mind fucking you right now.
He's mind fucking me, man. I'm letting him do it. I hate myself for that. I'm sorry. I didn't mean. You have your review, man. It's good. It's your opinion, brother.
Don't even look at me.
But understand, you keep doing shit. You keep jeering at me over there, and I can't stop looking at you, man. Fuck you. I'm trying. You go, man. I hear you. I mean, it's kind of fucked up what you're saying, but I hear you. Tell me I ain't seen this shit. I lived through that shit. I was there for the original. I saw this shit in the movie theater.
You just old, Korey. That's all right.
You should know too. You should know better. I'm so angry you didn't see this shit. And yet the thing is, that since you didn't see it, you're not gonna see it. You're not gonna pay to see this.
I feel like, man, you saying this is pandering or is just another Kevin Hart movie. This is better than Ride Along and Ride Along 2.
See, I knew it. I knew it.
It is,
and
better.
Because of what he said, I think I'm gonna go see it.
You ain't gonna go see this shit. I challenge you then. I challenge you, brother.
Oh, really?
I'm putting it down.
You calling me chicken?
By the word of Charlie Brown.
Putting it down like Charlie Brown?
I'm putting it down like Charlie Brown. Sorry.
You apologize to Charlie Brown.
That's my hero, man. I challenge you to go see this on Sunday and come back with your review. And don't you do no bullshit where you come here just to mess with me and pretend like you like that movie more than you do.
I won't pretend, but I can't promise you I'll see it.
Then shut your ass up.
Between now and Sunday, but I will give it my best shot.
Chat talking about, fuck it, we'll do it live.
Can't wait for Willie Miller's too.
Oh, I can't.